So should we black out that one and invite everyone to stand up here as well? Cecilia, Lars, Fredrik, come up. Thought before you all have a lot of questions, we have 15 minutes for Q&A. I thought I'm going to ask the first question myself. I have that privilege today. And of course, Mats, you're going to get it. So I think we've talked about future opportunities. Yep. How do you envision that for Tele2?
Well, as I said, I think we have opportunities in digging where we're standing, finding growth in with the customers that we're having, making sure that we expand the wallet, making sure that we are converting this volume that we're currently into a value, making sure that we are leveraging on the data growth. That's sort of one piece of it. The second piece is, of course, as someone else, I think Lars touched upon it, to find new areas, new opportunities like we did in Norway, like we did in Kazakhstan. And as I've also said, I mean, it's far between and they're fairly few. And they need to be able to meet our financial targets as well as meet the culture fit. So we're working on both of them.
Very good. So we open up for Q&A. Remember now that this is the group team. So the guys from the market areas are going to come up later. But let's see. Andrew Lee, Goldman Sachs, please give him a mic.
No, as I said, we are investing in core where we see a mobile path. So our mobility is sort of supported by the fixed. So if you take Sweden, for instance, so being able to provide fixed broadband to households. So that would be Sweden. In as you saw in some of the charts here, we didn't show Austria, Germany, or the Netherlands because that is fixed, and that's why they're not part of the mobile activity there. In the Netherlands, we'll come back to that as well. We see a path to mobility. In Germany, we are in a way mobile, and we will come back to that as well. Austria, strong on business to business. So I would say we are building out fixed as well. It is not as central to us as mobility. For sure. I don't know if Fredrik wants to comment it as well. No? No. Okay.
But I think, as Lars Nilsson said, I mean, we have very strict targets when it comes to financial performance, also for our fixed asset, and they should meet, of course. Yeah.
And I mean, I think that was a good observation, of course, because we are very happy about what you have seen in Austria and in Netherlands of the fantastic improvement in the result, and these are definitely core assets for us. But there you have to go more, I think, country by country, market by market, and set up individual targets there.
But the hurdle is, of course, 24% return on capital employed, independently. Andy, Parnis, UBS.
Yeah, hi there. Just a quick question on M&A. Could you just give a bit more detail about how you think about M&A? You talked about your sort of invest for more in potentially sort of in other strategic options where you see the opportunity. I mean, what's the sort of the criteria, internal criteria you look at when assessing, I guess, a cross-border opportunity? And do you see any other markets where you might do what you've done in Norway and act as a consolidator and start sort of actively consolidating the market yourselves?
Yeah, Fredrik, do you want to take a stab at that?
We constantly look at new markets, and we try to follow what is going on. But as Lars said before, they need to follow our criteria. Kazakhstan, I think, is a very interesting example of a market that we followed for a number of years. We try to understand the market and the players in the market, and then when the opportunity occurred, we took that opportunity. We look at opportunities in neighboring countries around Kazakhstan, but they are difficult. And they're interesting, and we continue to monitor them. I think that is what we can say.
Yeah, maybe I can just add on that In market consolidation is obviously something we feel very positively about, and Norway is a good example of that.
I mean, we didn't mention, but we also made BB in Netherlands, which is also just the same strategy in market consolidation.
Akhil, JP Morgan.
Yeah, hi. If I can ask a related question on M&A. You've mentioned in the slides how important it is to be a top two player in each of your markets. I guess in some of these markets, that looks like a relatively challenging prospect for you. For those markets, can you comment on your thoughts on exits and kind of where you are on that?
Yeah.
Are you referring to some specific market?
Exactly.
Because in Russia, for example, we are talking about regions, for sure.
Yeah, sorry. I was more referring to some of the West European markets, whereas I understand in Russia, it's much more regional approach.
No, I think it's fairly simple. I mean, we do have that financial targets, EBITDA 35, return on capital 20%, 24 now, sorry, and Freudian slip there, and the culture fit. And of course, if we don't achieve that over time, and we see that this is just not leading us where we want to be, then of course, if the price is right, I mean, as I said, everything is for sale, except maybe my wife. So I mean, it is absolutely out there for us. We're not sentimental from that perspective. It needs to meet those targets. And we have a couple of markets which is challenging, obviously, but we're not giving up yet. Not giving up yet. As long as we see a path towards that, then we're going to go for it.
We take Barry Zaitoun. Berenberger.
Hi, it's Barry Zaitoun from Berenberg. Can I just ask on the EBITDA target, the 35%, it seems where that's going to really have a step change in value is in Sweden versus where you are today, even though that's only 3 or 4 percentage points. I was just wondering in Sweden when you might expect to get to that 35% target. And then just one question in terms of your mobile regions. Where do you feel that you're lacking sufficient backbone, and where do you think building out backbone or buying backbone is going to be more important for your current mobile markets?
All right, so Sweden then, we will come back to Sweden, but we will meet the 35%. That is important for us. Sweden is the whole market's core. We're going to make it. And then building up backbone. When you guide to the microphone, I'll talk to you about the backbone, which is critical. I mean, Sweden, we're building it out. In the Netherlands, you can say we're looking into getting the mobile license for 4G. In the Netherlands, we have really already a fairly good backbone. We're building that out as well with the acquisition of BBNet and other activities. So in those two markets, I would say we're building out the backbone.
Good. We take Lena Österberg, Carnegie.
Yes, the question I have is to Lars. From your presentation, my impression was that you're quite confident, also given the turmoil that we have in the markets, that we should see at least 1.25 times net debt to EBITDA going forward. So is that the level we should see in terms of dividends?
No, that was not really what I'm trying to say is, of course, it's right that we are confident of the performance. And then we have a range, as you know, between 125 and 175. So it's not so that it's a statement that we should always be on the low end on that range.
At least at the 1.25 is definite.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
James Britton, Nomura. He's been waiting a long time. And then we're going to come over to the right from my side. Sorry, James.
Thanks, Lars. Just a question, or a couple of questions actually, on your ROCE targets. I think it's very, very impressive that you've got the ambition to drive it to 24%. But I just wanted to question why you're so focused on driving returns to such an impressive level. I guess most management teams would be very happy with 15%, 20% in this industry. So the question is really, obviously, one way in which you can manage up return on capital employed is to keep capex to a minimum. That's clearly inconsistent with the message from the presentation that a lot of the values in network access. So, I mean,